Hi, welcome back to another episode of Coogans Corner. I'm joined today by Aiden Mello, who's the president of the Dartmouth High School Fishing Club. We are on location today in the Dartmouth High School Activity Center, the Carlton Lynch Activity Center, so that we can do some fishing demonstrations here. We're going to see if we can test our accuracy and our skill at casting. And so, Aiden, how long has the fishing club been a club here at Dartmouth High School?
Yeah. So that's a great question. The fishing club has been a club since, I believe, 2018-ish, and the previous club mentors or presidents, you could say, they left 2020, so right before COVID started. So when COVID ended, I wanted to kind of like get ahead of the game and start up the club as something new and fresh. So 2021 junior year, it was kind of like a brand new club. It was coming out of like a COVID era, so I wanted to come straight out of that, something new. So it's been going strong ever since. We have about 50 people in the Google Classroom, so pretty high membership. I think it's one of the most popular clubs in DHS, and it's very active.
I was very surprised when we took the photo for the fishing club. I had about 15 chairs, and we needed about 30, so it was a pretty wild to see how many students were interested in this. So, Aiden, I know I've checked in with Mr. Tweedy, who's the advisor for the club, right? If I wanted to get involved, if I wanted to join you all on a fishing trip, if I wanted to get some more information about the club, how would I go about that? When does the club meet?
Sure. So we hold all our PACE meetings in Mr. Tweedy's room. So if anybody needs information regarding that, they can stop by. He can give you the Google Class code, and then we'll add to our Snapchat group chat. That's where our club members communicate. But we usually go fishing, usually from September to November. And then we kind of shy away from that once it gets cold, and we go back to like our hands-on activities, rod cleaning, maintenance, education. And then when the spring months go around, we start fishing again. So there's really a large, diverse range of options that might point to something that you might be interested in.
Awesome. So not only is it the actual act of the fishing, but Mr. Tweedy had mentioned to me that you all do a little bit of just kind of like instruction as well, like learning, not only what areas and where to fish, but also safe practices during fishing, like how to, not only keep the environment safe, but also the animals themselves, right?
Yes, exactly. So when we started up the club again last year, I really wanted to hone in the focus about, we are a conservation-minded club. Again, following the rules, staying true to that. Again, educating the people in the club so that when they go out and fish, that they can make, our coastal areas a better place.
Awesome. So what kind, I know we were just taking a look at some fly fishing rods, which was pretty impressive. It was pretty crazy to see. That's a totally different animal, huh? So what kind of a rod are we looking at now? Yeah. What's this setup?
So right here, we have a spinning rod. This is like the most basic configuration of fishing reel here. This is what you're going to see in like a lot of stores. This is what most people start off with. So I guess just a quick anatomy. This is usually where you hold it from, the base of the rod, the handle. You have a long, this is called the blank of the rod here. This is what gives you more leverage to cast. You have your rod ferrules, this is where the line feeds through. And then the fishing reel. So this is a spinning reel again, as I mentioned. You have your bail lever here, your spool, your drag controls how hard or easy it is to pull line out of the reel. And then you have your crank. So what we do is to reel in. And then this down here would be your anti-reverse and reverse. But all right, that's basically That'd be
So,
nice.
as an avid sportsman, as an avid fisherman yourself, I mean, you have no issues with your accuracy and your aim here with being able to cast the rod, right? So, we have a little demonstration set up. We're going to see what we can do. We've got a gym mat. We're going to ask Aiden to throw a couple casts. I don't know if you need a little more room, Aiden. And then he's going to see if he can give me some instruction on how to complete this task as well. We're going to have to make sure all innocent bystanders are far away when it's my turn, though. So, Aiden, give us a 1-2 on what you got to do.
Usually what you want to do, you want to reel up your line. It's about 6 or 10 inches from the tip of the rod right there. And then you want to move your spool around so that the line is facing the back edge of the rod. And then you want to pinch with your pointer finger here, flip the bail, and you want to come back here, right? Just use this for a little bit more leverage. And while you're throwing the rod forward, I guess you could say, pushing the rod forward, you want to let go of the line with your pointer finger. So, hold that now. And it should let out just like that.
Awesome.
Slack line, just reel it back in. That's about as simple as that.
Perfect. All right. Can I give it a try?
Of course, yeah.
We'll see if we can get it done.
Sure.
Can I trade you?
Absolutely. Yep, that looks about good.
And we'll open right.
Yep,
I'm going to let go and give it a cast.
sure. There you go.
I think I threw it a bit too far.
No, I think that's great.
Pretty good. Now, if I was trying to catch a fish, would I be reeling in quickly, reeling in slowly? What should I do, Aiden?
So it really depends on what kind of fish you're trying to target. Right around now, we're focusing on freshwater fishing. So and it's a little bit cold in the water, so you'd be reeling in slow or not moving it at all.
Okay, so like
About that speed, yeah,
slow.
yeah.
And so how about what kind of conditions would I want to go fast, or would I want to like kind of give it some action, kind of bob it a little bit?
Yeah. So saltwater fishing, really all fishing, you really want to add some of your own movement into there. It adds a lot of life to whatever artificial lure you're using. If you're using bait, you kind of just want to let it sit. But again, there's so many different methods of fishing that it really depends on what you're going after.
Awesome.
Great.
All right. So you heard it here from the fishing club themselves. It's amazing to see the knowledge that not only Aiden but a lot of the group members have. It's an organization that's focused not only on the fun and the sport of fishing, but also on the environmental aspects, how to do this safely, how to make sure that we're maintaining the proper populations for our animals. And so we're going to try to get a little bit of footage of some of the fly fishing and the technique required for that. Mr. Sampson joined us today, along with Mr. Tweedy, to help out, and we'll see how that's different from the reel fishing that we just did.
Come on! Come on! Walk through a school tour. Learn about clubs and activities. Talk and meet beloved teachers. December 7th, 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. We hope to see you there.
All right, so we're here on location in the Dartmouth High School Gymnasium. We are going to do a little bit of a demonstration with both Mr. Tweedy and Mr. Sampson. Mr. Sampson's joined us as an avid fly fisherman, and so he was going to describe how some of the techniques with fly fishing are a little different than the traditional reel fishing that Aiden showed us just a few minutes ago. So Mr. Sampson and Mr. Tweedy, how is this different than what Aiden showed us, that kind of introduction to typical fishing that most of us think of?
Well, the big difference is that in fly fishing, the fly line is what carries the weight out. The lure, when you're spinning, the lure is heavy and carries the line out. But when you're fly fishing, you have no weight on the fly. It's really feathers and stuff like that. So the fly line is what is being used to get the distance and get the fly out there. You have to know how to cast your line so it continually pulls out farther and farther and farther.
I can see just by your hand motions that this is a much more physically demanding
Well, it's-
effort than the original one,
Well,
right? You just throw it out there and let the weight
right.
do the work, as opposed to you actually having to navigate the
It's not hard. It's not tiring. It's not that physical in that sense, but it does take more
motion.
motion to get it done.
Yeah, Mr. Tweedy, have you gotten down with the fly fishing here? Is this?
I've only practiced in my backyard a little bit, but I think that's sort of what we're trying to do as a fishing club in general,
Yeah.
is expose not just new anglers to fishing, but people who have been fishing for a while to maybe new techniques.
Yeah.
And this is something I've never done before, and some of the other members of the fishing club are interested in learning fly fishing too. So it really kind of catches the whole spirit of the club and exposing new anglers to fishing, exposing seasoned anglers to new ways of fishing.
Great. And so when we went out to check out the fishing club in action, I noticed kind of a lot of the members were on the dock. They were like right on the side, right on the shoreline, if you will, with fly fishing. Mr. Sampson, would this be something that you do from the shoreline? Would you get into the water? I see a lot of times fly fishermen are out kind of in waders, right?
Right. So you can do it in waders from the shore. I like to fish in estuaries where you have moving water coming out of the creeks and the what do you call those?
The
The
tide,
banks,
yeah,
you know, the
yeah.
banks and all that stuff. So yeah, coming out and the tide comes down, the bait gets swept out.
Wow.
You catch your line out and your fly floats down like a little bait fish, and the fish are waiting for it. But I also fish from a kayak a lot, or you can take a boat.
Fly fishing from a kayak. That's balanced, and I don't know if I have, Mr. Sampson. So
No.
thanks for the challenge. We'll have to up it up to step 2.
It's the best way to go.